Do you ever feel like you just can't focus? You try to work, but your phone buzzes, your dog barks, a car alarm goes off down the street. Suddenly it's been 3 hours, and you've accomplished nothing. Well, if you think procrastination is a modern problem, think again. People were struggling with it 100 years ago, and one inventor came up with a solution that is truly something else. Meet Hugo Gernsback. Back in 1925, he wasn't just thinking about the future. He was trying to build it, one bizarre invention at a time. In his masterpiece for curing distraction, a terrifying-looking helmet he called the Isolator. Now, when I say terrifying, I mean it. Picture this: a massive, solid brass helmet that completely covers your head. It's totally soundproof. There are no openings for your ears. Yes. To see, you get 2 tiny glass peepholes, just big enough to look at the paper in front of you and nothing else. And how do you breathe? Through a narrow pipe that connects to an oxygen tank? It's like something out of a deep-sea diving nightmare or a low-budget sci-fi horror movie. Gernsback, who was also a famous sci-fi magazine publisher, was obsessed with efficiency. He believed the biggest enemy of productivity was outside noise and visual distractions. His logic was simple. If you can't hear anything and you can't see anything, you have no choice but to focus on the task at hand. It's basically a personal sensory deprivation tank for your head. He claimed that the Isolator could block out 95% of all sound. Imagine putting this thing on. The world would just ... disappear. All you'd hear is the sound of your own breathing, maybe your own frantic heartbeat as you sit inside this metal prison. The eye holes were intentionally made of blue-tinted glass and painted black on the inside, with just a tiny slit scraped away. Why? To force your eyes to look only at the page in front of you. No glancing out the window, no looking at a clock, no distractions whatsoever. Gernsback even wrote an article about it in his magazine, Science and Invention, boasting about how it would revolutionize the modern worker and student. He was convinced this was the key to unlocking human potential. So, did it work? Let's just say you don't see people walking around in giant brass helmets today. The biggest problem, it turned out, wasn't just the claustrophobia or the fact that you looked like a villain from a steampunk comic book. The main issue was, people would fall asleep. Yes, after a few minutes inside the warm, dark, quiet confines of the Isolator, users would get incredibly drowsy and just doze off. So much for productivity. Instead of a focus machine, Gernsback had accidentally invented a very elaborate and creepy-looking nap machine. The whole thing was made of wood, covered in cork for soundproofing, and then lined with felt. It was a serious piece of engineering, but it completely missed the mark on human psychology. Sometimes a little background noise is actually good for focus. And being cut off from the world so completely isn't just distracting, it's unsettling. Despite its failure, the Isolator remains one of history's most fascinating and weirdest inventions. It's a perfect example of a time when people thought technology could solve any problem, even something as complex as human focus. Gernsback was a visionary, no doubt about it. He imagined a world of video phones and flying cars. But when it came to curing procrastination, his solution was a little ... extreme. It reminds us that sometimes the simplest solutions are the best. Maybe just turning off your phone is a better idea than strapping a 10-pound brass helmet to your head. What do you think? Do you ever try something like the Isolator to get your work done? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this look into weird history, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more strange stories from the past. And if you enjoyed this trip into weird history, be sure to like and subscribe for more.